Do you know how many people plan for starting a business? According to the University of Phoenix, 63% people want to start their business. But according to a different research, only 0.02% people actually start their business. So, if you are just planning for your business, then you have a very long journey to travel. And if you have already started your business, then congratulations and welcome to the elite class of entrepreneurs. Hi, in this video, I will tell you about the 5 tips that every first time entrepreneur should consider so that he can prepare himself or herself for the tough time of entrepreneurial journey. Now, the first point is keep one locker secured. Whenever first time entrepreneurs start their business, they always make a mistake while making their financial plan. And that is the reason that their 100% money get vanished out within 50 to 60% of the time. For example, let's say you are planning to start an e-commerce business and thinking that you can easily run your e-commerce business for next 12 months without raising external funds in $50,000 because you are already having a saving of $50,000. But when you will start your e-commerce business in reality, then you will find out that your $50,000 got vanished out within first 6 to 7 months. And this happens to almost everybody. And usually such situations occur on a particular turning point. Turning points like if you will keep running your business for the next 3 months, then you can easily get the external funding or it will be a breakthrough for you. But you are only having funds for the next 15 days. And in such situations, what co-founders do is they forget about their product, they forget about their services, and majority of their team start looking for the external funding. They start approaching the investors, they start negotiating with their pricing, about their shares pricing. And if they fail to raise the funds, then they get vanished out from the market. And if they even raise the funds, then they find out that they have already disturbed their services, they have already disturbed their existing clients. So to avoid such situation, what you can do is you can keep one locker secured. What is one locker secured is to have one person in your life who can give you a particular set of amount in your emergency. Okay, for example, that person can be your friend, that person can be your family member, or parents of your friend, or any acquaintance who believe you or who believes so much on your idea, and you can approach him anytime. So always have that one person who can put few $1,000 in your business whenever you ask for, and keep that person secured for only such situations. If you will do so, then you can easily avoid such situations and can touch your breakthroughs on, or you can raise external fundings without unnecessary negotiating about your shares. Now, the next point is never run behind features. This usually happens when people try to compete existing businesses or products or services. Let's take an example of Uber app. So let's say you are planning to compete with Uber app or planning to make an app which is similar to Uber. So what I have seen is that people try to compete such businesses by bringing new features on the name of saying that these features are so cool. For example, launching a new feature of that you can turn on the AC of your car or your cab from your mobile itself 5 minutes before booking your cab, so that when it reaches to you, it is already cold or hot as per your comfortability. But sorry to say, you cannot compete with such a great startup or such a great businesses by just bringing such kind of features, because first thing is these features are easily replicable, And second thing is the usability of such feature is not that great. You need to understand that businesses never run on the name of features. Businesses always run on the name of the usability. If your features are bringing more and more usability, if your features are solving more and more problems of your customers, then yeah, sure, you can easily compete, or you can try to compete your competitors. But if your features are only fancy or just looking cool, then you can never compete the existing businesses just on the name of features. So never try to compete just on the name of features. Always try to look towards the bigger picture, like solving the more and more problems. Always try to figure out that what Uber is missing, or what other businesses are missing that you can solve, and that is not easy to replicable. Because if that particular feature is easy to replicable, then within no time those companies will replicate those feature and then implant into their app or into their businesses. So this thing you have to keep in your mind. Now the third point is become habitual for heartbreaks. Whenever you start the business, you listen the word no from a lot of people. No from your best friends, no from your life partners, girlfriends, boyfriends, or from your family member, from acquaintances, from your classmates, colleagues, your teachers, your students, your clients, your customers. 99% of the time you will keep on listening this word no, and this no always gives a feeling of heartbreak. You also get no from those people for whom you have gone extra mile to help them in their tough time, and you have a fake imagination in your mind that whenever you will face the tough time in your life, then at least these people will help you. But you will find out that even these people have started saying no to you. So if you are not good at taking the no's, or if you are not matured enough to take the no's in your life, then sorry to say, entrepreneurship is not for you. So if you are entering into the entrepreneurship, then you need to make yourself matured enough, you have to make yourself strong enough that you can easily listen no from anybody in your life. And that is why we call this particular time as a struggle, because if everybody is helping you, then you cannot consider it as a struggle. In entrepreneurship, majority of people are saying no to you and going to reject you, and that is the reason that we consider entrepreneurship as a struggling journey. So be ready for your heartbreaks. So the next point is fundraising is not primary thing. I have seen a lot of people who start approaching investors the moment they get the business idea. What they do is, first they write their idea on the paper with a pen or a pencil, and then they call their best friend or their partners, and in the next moment they start searching on the Google the best investors in the world, the best investors in the country, and then start making the pitch for their business, and then start cold emailing those investors or try to contact them on the LinkedIn or on other kind of platforms, and put their whole focus on the fundraising part. But you need to understand that you got an idea about a problem that you have to solve. You haven't got an idea to raise the funds. So this is the basic mistake which majority of people are doing, and they are wasting so much of time in that. So what you have to do is, the moment you get the idea, start making the first prototype or the first working model for it, and arranging the money for the first working model is not that tough until you are making a rocket like Elon Musk. Okay, and I'm sure that majority of people are not planning to make the rockets to launch into the space. And if we talk about the normal businesses like the IoT or the normal products, then you can easily arrange that much amount of money from your friend circles or from your family or from your colleagues. You can easily ask for that money by sharing your business idea that you are planning to work on this particular thing. And once you arrange that particular set of money, then start working as a part-time if you are studying or doing a job, and keep working on it until you make your first working model. Then when you get your first working model, then is the right time to approach the investors. If you are approaching before making any working product or any prototype, then sorry to say, it is not a good idea. And majority of time people fail in raising their funds when they approach the investor in this particular stage, because investors are getting hundreds of cold emails every day. Even a normal investor is getting hundreds of emails. So if the investor is of best quality, then might be he is getting 200 or 500 or 1000 emails on the daily basis. So to whom he will give the preference? Will he give the preference to those people who are already making the money, who are already having a working model, or he will support you who is only having a plan on the paper, and who is approaching on the next day when he get the idea, who haven't even refined the business idea? So make yourself mature and approach for the fundraising when you have your prototype or the first working or your first working model in your hand. Now the next point is, scope of every business is different. I've seen a lot of people who are running normal businesses like owning a journal store or a mobile store or a digital marketing company. But when we ask that where you look yourself after 10 years, then many of them say something like, one day I'll be the richest person of the earth, or one day I will be a billionaire, or something like that. But you need to understand that you can never become a billionaire by running a digital marketing company or by owning a journal store or a cyber cafe, because the market size is not that big. I'm not saying that these businesses are good or bad. Of course they are good, because they are feeding your family. They are of course good, but every business has a different scope, and every business has their own struggle. You can make billions of money only by solving those problems where the market size is of multiple billions. If the market size of that particular problem is only a few $1,000,000, then how can you make billions out of it? There's no way. Okay. And if you are owning a journal store, let's say, then how many people you can serve? You can serve maybe in like 1 kilometer area, or in the 2 kilometer area, or at least on the max you can serve the people of the 10 kilometer area. That's the max you can serve. So how can you earn billions of money by serving in a radius of only 10 kilometers? You cannot earn it. Even if you are serving in the real estate market also in the 10 kilometer, then even from the real estate you cannot earn billions of dollar by serving only into the 10 kilometer area. So if you have to earn the billions of money in the real estate also, then also you need to expand your business. So this is what you have to understand, that if you want to earn more, you have to solve the problems which is of $1 billion market, or which is making troubles for a lot of the people. So if you are entering the business just to earn the money, then always figure it out that what is the market size of that industry. Maybe you will get disappointed that you always wanted to earn the money in billions, but the market size of the idea which you have got is only of few millions rupees. I'm not saying that that idea is bad. Maybe that idea is very good, but you have to choose whether you can survive in those millions, or can you wait for the next big idea and can work for on the current business idea which is of only millions. And if you think that is a nice thing to do, then you can always do for the $1 million business idea. And when you have some few millions in your pocket, then you can always invest in other businesses, or maybe in few time you get a next business idea which is having a market of $1 billion idea. But never mix the two things. Always remember, every business is a good business, but a scope of every business is different. And I think that's it for today. If you have any doubt regarding any of the point, then you can ask me in the comment box. And if you want to keep watching such videos, then you can check our website businessalligators.com, or can subscribe our channel. And we also have a course for entrepreneurs, and the link is in the description. You can check the link. Now, bye bye for now. We'll meet you tomorrow. Bye bye.